Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Soul's Journey. Today we are on episode Mousseau, and hi, Nancy. So I just sent you an invite. Let me know if you see it. There we go. That was easy.
No, wait, it isn't. I gotta turn it around.
It's okay. Take your time.
Keep talking.
All right. How's everybody doing? So I want to say your name properly because I don't think I've ever said your last name out loud. So it's Nancy Meikle-Mousseau.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I did it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you, Maria? It's so happy to be here with you. You have
I'm
no
so
idea.
happy to have you. Can I tell a story how we met?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Nancy, she's one of the GTA Reiki teachers. She's quite involved with the GTA website, and she did lots of work on the conference, which was wonderful. But I was last year, I guess at the beginning of last year, so 2022, I did part-time at Abundance, and she walked in there one day looking to buy little hearts or something for her class that she was teaching. And we got to chatting, and she's like, yeah, I'm going to be taking Karuna Reiki. And I was like, what? I've been looking to become a Karuna Reiki master. That's why I took Holy Fire, because I wanted to become a Karuna Reiki master. And I'm like, sign me up. Where are you going? Like, she just seems so genuine and lovely. She's like, yeah, it's Kimiko GTA Reiki. And I swear I have looked at their website time and time again because I've Googled Karuna Reiki teachers and all of that. And because it was GTA Reiki, I thought, I don't know, like, I don't think this is local. I don't know if I could get to it. I really didn't dive into it. But it goes to show you that when you're ready for the teacher, when you're ready for the lesson, the teacher shows up or something like that. Because she showed up, and within 2 weeks, we were both taking Karuna Reiki with Kimiko, and which was a 10-week class. We did Zoom classes, and then we did one practicum. And it was amazing to meet these beautiful ladies. And it was just the two of us. So it was quite intimate, and there was lots to learn. So that's how I met Nancy. And then we just kind of just popped in. We do pop into the GTA Reiki Reiki share monthly, but I've also attended some of her Reiki shares, which are lovely. And I had the privilege this year to attend her Word of the Year workshop, which was fantastic. So I totally recommend, if you want to start your year with setting some goals and some ambition, that's kind of where to go. But that doesn't say anything about Nancy. So Nancy's the Usui Holy Fire 3 Karuna Reiki Master. She's an author, vision board coach, and a certified Reiki coach. And I know that your Reiki certification coach, that was very recently. You did that last year. So I know it's become very handy, especially for the GTA Reiki conference. We used everything you learned and kind of put it together. It kind of helped us navigate through our business goals through our chakras. So I thought that was genius. I know that Nancy, so where are you located now, Nancy?
I am in Richmond Hill.
Yeah.
Just off Yonge Street. Yeah.
Awesome. But you do, most of your clientele you do through online, right?
Yeah. Distant Reiki and then teaching. I'm co-teaching.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's a whole story in itself.
Yeah. We'll get to that because I want you to definitely let people know where they can find you and how to join your classes for sure. So let's just start with a question, I think. Right?
Sure, but I just got to say I loved how the universe just sent me to you. It was like, I know you told the story, but honestly, I get a kick out of the universe all the time. I love their sense of humor. I love how they nudge or how they shove. It's just so much fun. It's an adventure. It's an adventure if you let it be. I just had to say that because meeting you was not, it was so random, but not at all random.
It was just all lined up. Like it just, yeah. And I know. And so when you walked in and you said, I think I'm going to Karuna Reiki, I was like, okay, this is my chance. Like the universe has sent this to my door, literally. So, and it's worked out. Like it's been an amazing ride. I got to meet you. And I got to meet Kimiko and all the teachers at GTA Reiki, and it's just kind of blossomed and has really helped me build my confidence as a teacher and as a mentor. All of you guys to have that background and have that support behind me, huge, huge.
Yeah, I was so glad to be in it with you. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay.
All right. So the first question is, what would you like to share about your life journey so far that has led you to become a healer? And I know that you said you don't like the word healer. So if you want to kind of add why you don't like the word healer, I know I don't like to identify myself as a healer because, anyways, I have my own reasons, but I would like your definition on that.
Well, it all started. No, you really made me, when you told me these questions, it really made me think about my life.
Yeah. Right.
And all the steps that it took. And it really started, my first real job, I worked in a library, and it was in Thornhill. It was an old house. It's still there. And you know what? I am going to go in again because I'll tell you why. It's the Thornhill Village Library, very old, like the stairs creaked. There was a lot going on in there. And I was 17 and I got a library guide when I worked there. And for the next 20 years, this library guide would direct me to all the books that I should read, all nonfiction. I never read fiction, and I still don't read fiction. That's just not what I was supposed to be doing. It got to the point where in my 30s, when I went to the library, I would invite him. I'd say, okay, come on, show me which one. Either the book would just fall on the floor or my hand would gravitate right to it. Sometimes I'd walk out with like 6 or 7.
Wow.
They were all spiritual books. But saying that, I got to say the libraries don't really have a great selection of those books.
Yeah.
But they did the best they could to get me interested in a spiritual life. So that's kind of where it all started for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're almost just self-led in your learning, right?
Yeah. Again, the universe. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, the help is there. I don't believe I asked. I can't say I did. But being in that, okay, I was led to work there, and being in that old home library, 1851 old, yeah, something magical happened. So it is still active, the library, and I kind of wanted to go in before our live, but I didn't have a chance. But I am going to go in to feel it, it's been renovated, but I'm just going to see and feel my way through it.
Yeah.
I want to revisit.
For sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're at the library, anyone, say hi to Nancy if you see her.
Yeah, on Colburn Street. Yeah. And so that's Thornhill, and I'm in Richmond Hill. So yeah. I've kind of come back to my old stomping grounds, which is trippy.
Yeah, it's really always a loop, right? Like it always comes back around in some way or another, right? If it's either a lesson or if it's somebody you needed to meet, right? Or somebody even from your past that you needed to connect at a different point in your life, right?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I got to say that started everything. All those books got my soul remembering. And
Yeah.
then there was synchronicities all throughout my life to help me remember. I got to say it all
Wonderful.
started with the library, yeah.
That's wonderful. Can we touch on the healer definition? Because I want because everybody has a different definition of healer, and I know that you're not comfortable with that title, but I know that you have your own particular definition of a healer, right?
Sure, and I don't really know why I don't use it. I'm not going to say I don't like it. I'm going
Yeah.
to say I don't use it. I think it originated from last year when I was taking the coaching course. We were going through like brands and who we are and all that sort of stuff. And it was a 7-month-long program. So we all got to know each other very well. And it was towards, I'm going to say maybe heart or throat. We started at the heart because everything starts at the heart. Everything is love and starts at the heart. And then we went to throat, and then solar, and then third eye, and then sacral. So it might have been in the solar plexus where one of my spiritual teachers, Isabel, we were talking about names that we wanted. And I was dancing all around this one particular phrase. Yes. And she said it, and I went, oh my God, yes, that's my whole life. That is my whole life. So I resonate with creative leading light. That instead of healer.
Yeah.
Because we all have the light inside us. And I just feel I'm jumping all over with these questions.
No, I made you jump because I'm not following through. I just wanted your definition of that. But I think it's, so sorry, can you say that again?
Creative leading light.
Creative living light. I love that. I feel that's so inclusive because I find too that when you go to a healer, you expect them to come and heal you. But as Reiki masters and practitioners, we don't heal you. We just attune you to source energy, right? We raise your vibration so you can do the internal healing. So I like to call myself that I'm an energy attuner, right?
Yeah.
So, but healer is kind of a term that everybody kind of understands, so I use it. But yeah, I prefer like energy attuner or, I guess energy riser or something like that, right? It's just the fact that I just kind of vibrate at a high source light, and you kind of match me, right, to where you're at.
Exactly.
Wonderful. Yeah. All right, let's get to the next question.
Okay.
I'll put myself back on track here. So number 2 is, have you discovered your life purpose? And if you did, how did that occur?
I think I don't want to say job, but it really was jobs. Each job that I had was a stepping stone just towards developing where I am now. And there's a really cool exercise that I did many years ago, and I love to share. It's called the stepping stone exercise, where you go on Pinterest and you get a beautiful stepping stone across water or whatever that you like, and then you start writing down from your very first job, part-time, right at the beginning, to now, and you take a look and see the pattern or the stepping stone steps, again, universally guided. They're in your vortex. You got to get there somehow, right? And everyone, and I was in retail a long time, and you might say, retail? Well, like, how did you get where you are now from that? But everything is a stepping stone, whether I needed to learn just patience. You always learn certain things from every job you have. Okay, get me on track again, Maria.
So you were talking about your stepping stones, and you were putting down every job you had, and it kind of led you to where you're at now. Anything else you want to add to that? I think that's a great exercise because you don't,
Oh, it's fun.
when you sit down and you look at your life, you really don't think about those little tiny steps that you took maybe from one job to another, which have really kind of helped you create the skills that you needed for the next step,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
When I was younger, I spent almost 7 years in retail as well, and recently went back to it. And each time it teaches me something different: customer service, how to service people differently, how to connect with people deeper, right? The same with, I did office work and all of that. That taught me to kind of help me run my own business and do this and that. Like, I find that each skill kind of adds and molds and helps you kind of create that platform that you need to kind of step forward from, right?
Yeah. And every job I had, I felt like I rose to the top and I led. And I was more interested in the people, my employees, than the actual job.
Yeah.
And I realized that I wanted to lead or teach, whatever that looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We discover our skills just by accident sometimes. Just by, yeah.
Yeah, by being tested and then you like stepping forward and leading and going, oh my God, I just did that. I just led and I just,
Yeah.
and everybody going, oh my God, you did such a great job. You should keep doing this. And so, yeah, but that's the journey, right? It's discovering things that you didn't think you had in you and then surpassing them, right? Like you were saying.
And an interesting note is every job that I had, I still have people from those jobs that I'm friends with.
Wonderful.
That's really unusual. So I kind of like, I keep them in my life. Not everybody, but there are those special ones, going right back to day camp when I was a counselor. That was my very first job. Yeah, so, life is really fun and interesting and adventurous if we let it be. It's our perception of it, the challenges or struggles, or that's how we learn. That's how we grow. We got lots to learn or we wouldn't be here, right? We'd just stay. Right. Stay home.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think most of us just really think, okay, if I get to the next step, I can rest, I can do this, I can stop doing obsessing or doing this. But it's really like, it's always, you're never done. There's always something else, and there's always something else. And nobody teaches us that life is supposed to be kind of hopping from one step to the next, right? Like building your path.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Nancy. Okay, so question number 3 is, what are some of the challenges you faced during your healing journey?
Yeah. Okay, that's a big one.
It is, and you can answer whichever way you want. And healing journey.
It made me think about it. For me, it's easy, but it's the big one. So I'm going to say sometimes, and I'm hoping some people may relate, or maybe my words will help someone say, oh shit, yeah, I went through that. Because you think you're alone till you're not, or till you hear somebody. Yeah. I think for me, I really didn't plan how I was going to say this, and I want to be careful. Sometimes, okay, Aristotle, he said, there's friends for a reason, friends for a season, and friends for life, right? You've heard that. Everybody's heard that.
I have, yeah.
It's wonderful, and it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, we need that, right? We need the lesson, the reason, the season, the joy, and lifetime friends. But sometimes family is for a reason, a season, or lifetime. So in my case, I had 2 families. And I'm not talking about my mom and dad. I'm talking about me as a mother and a wife. So my first family, I wasn't able to be a creative leading light. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And my soul was dying. And that's not why I was put here, why I chose to come back. And there was no ease and flow.
Mm.
There was nothing ease and flow about it.
Right.
And it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you
many
shifted,
people,
right?
yeah,
You shifted.
many people resonated with that, I think.
It's happened in my life, so I totally understand where you're coming from.
But it is sad. But I also have to remember that the reason season, and then why I came here, and I have to fulfill why I came. And if I'm not able to do that, then you have to take a really good look, right?
Right.
There's always choice.
Yes.
And as I mentioned earlier, the universe sometimes nudges and sometimes slams you.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, not that path.
Right.
You got to go over here, regardless of the hurt that happens. Yeah. So my biggest obstacle or challenge, or however you worded it, was, family. Some of my family got hurt in the midst of all my decisions. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I have to be who I have to be, and I almost have. Someone once said recently, trying to remember how she worded it, for this lifetime. It's not about family, it's more about your ripple effect for everything else.
Right.
Sometimes something has to give.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and I also believe that we all have a role to play, not only in our own lives, but in the lives of other people, right? So sometimes, even though we think we're the hero, we can be the bad guy, right? Or vice versa, mm-hmm. Right? We are unjustly put in that bad guy role because it serves the other person, right? So yeah. I totally understand, yeah. And with anything, any kind of change, any transition, there's sometimes casualty, and most likely with any transition is the death of the old you, right? So that's kind of what you're sacrificing, what you're giving up, that you no longer can stay in that embodiment of who you were. You have to kind of move forward to the new you, to whatever that is, right?
Yep, to be the creative leading light, because I wasn't going anywhere where I was.
Right.
I was being buried. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I totally understand that stifling of your soul's light and your creativity.
Yeah.
Needing to reach for more and knowing that there's more out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful thinking, Nancy. Okay, the next question is, what is the one lesson you have learned and share with people all the time? Right? So kind of like, and I think you've kind of done a little bit of that so far. Is there another one that you've kind of apply all the time with people? So today I had a client and it was just like, you can, bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Like, you can love somebody and love them and show them how amazing they are. But if they're not willing to see that love within themselves, they're not going to, right? Like, you can't force somebody else. One that I say very often is, you can't love somebody enough for them to love themselves, right? Like, they have to learn to love themselves, because otherwise they're not going to receive your love. That's kind of one of
that's
one of the two that I say.
My answer is, you have to be your own cheerleader in life.
Yeah.
And funny, you should mention that. Okay, so in 2021, I was a co-author in this book, 365 Days of Self-Love. And I wrote 6 little segments. And I asked the publisher, do you think one of my stories could be on my birthday? And because I could hear my mother saying, if you don't ask, you won't get. My mom's passed, but she's right here. And Ken's on the other side. Oh my gosh, Ken has been with me all day. He's led me to books I need to read, little snippets from for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you don't ask, you won't receive. So Be Your Own Cheerleader is on my birthday in this book, November 11th. And it's like all about being your own cheerleader, because you came in alone, you go home alone. You have to learn to self-love and congratulate yourself on a very regular basis. Celebrate your wins every week. People don't do that.
Right.
People don't celebrate themselves. We have to celebrate ourselves and pat ourselves on the back and actually say the words, I'm proud of you
Right.
for doing that, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Be Your Own Cheerleader is, and people might say, well, how the hell do I do that? You find mentors, you find spiritual teachers, you find people online. There's all kinds of free things.
Yeah.
Find people you resonate with, find your tribe, and it's easy. You can be led and you can be taught.
Right. If you open up
know.
and you're ready,
Yeah.
it'll just pop. Like it'll pop in. Like you'll see a reel, or you see a caption, or you pop into a live series like this, and you're like, oh, I resonate with that person. That person can be
exactly. And then you start following them, and then maybe they've read a book, or maybe they have podcasts, or maybe they have courses. Yes.
Yeah.
Be your own cheerleader.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And I feel, yeah. And I think society teaches us to be wary of pride, and more look at pride as ego, but it's not. Like, you can be proud of yourself and your achievements without adding that I'm the best, kind of, I'm the only one that can do this, right? Like, you can just be proud of your accomplishments without adding the ego part to it, right?
Yeah. Because if you're not your own cheerleader, who is going to be?
Right. Yeah. Well, another thing would be, like RuPaul says, like, if you're not willing to love yourself, who the hell do you think is going to love you, right?
Yeah.
Not in the same words. I never can say it properly. But it's that. Like, if you're not willing to love who you are, how are you going to be able to then be open up for somebody else, for you to receive somebody else's love, right?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with cheering and feeling proud of yourself and feeling proud of your accomplishments. If you're not proud, then, it's hard to find people who, not hard, but sometimes people live their lives and they're kind of living their lives within their own mirror and their own lane, and it can be very, very disappointing if you're living your life waiting for the outside world to kind of nourish you, because it doesn't work that way. It's the work within out, right?
Yeah, just shine your light. Don't let anyone dim it. Shine your own light, and then you'll attract your tribe.
And you will. Yeah, they'll come along. Yeah. So the next one is, what does healing mean to you, right? Because everybody has a different definition. Like, healer to you and me was a very different definition. So what does healing mean to you?
It means a return to love.
Wonderful.
That's exactly what it means to me. A return to the love that we brought in with us. That young babies, all they are just a bundle of love. Until society and, parents and culture throws in the fear. So healing is a return to love. And Marianne Williamson, she actually wrote a book on a return to love. That's one of the ones I was guided to. And love is energy.
Yeah.
Love is energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's that energy is kind of found all across the universe, right? It's kind of the main vibration, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. A return to love. And where there is love, there is no fear. Fear cannot exist where there is love. And that's from Kyle Gray. We all know and love him, right?
I love him. I have most of his decks. I love him.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what do you love most about your gifts and healing talents, right? Because we all have different ways we do our not only a healing session, but we approach our work with clients.
I think seeing other people transform is my greatest excitement.
Yeah.
Whether I'm teaching or whatever, just having a workshop or whatever it is, just seeing other people, transform and learn and have a return to love. And it's the whole ripple effect, right? I love the ripple effect.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily have to be me throwing the pebble in.
Yeah.
But I love to see the blossoming and the returning of love of friends, students, whoever, colleagues. It's just the most exciting thing.
It is.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
Right there.
I hear you. Yeah. When you see a client blossom from like the first session to like 3-4 sessions in, and you're like, look how far you've come in such a short time, and like you're not even thinking the things you thought as you walk through the door. It's rewarding to see them truly kind of tap into their most authentic light, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I totally agree. 100%. How do you find your gifts and talents make you unique?
How do I find? Read that again to me.
Sure. How do your gifts and talents make you unique, right?
Oh, unique.
Yes.
Well, the creative leading light, the creative part of it. Before I came here, I trained with Archangel Jophiel, and she is all about beauty and creativity. And when I learned that, it all made sense, because after I left my parents' home, there were many, 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 many years where I wasn't in the most affluent place. Like, you're starting out as a couple, and I could always create something beautiful out of nothing. And I recognized that as a gift.
It is. Yeah.
I didn't realize it had anything to do with Jophiel, but it all made sense when I was told that. And I just feel like creativity is one of my gifts, whether it's Reiki. So on my Instagram page, everything to do with Reiki was Reiki infused and led, and I created all those posts from Reiki kind of telling me what to do, like from the water wheel to the braid. Like, who thinks of those things? I don't know. I think that's one of my gifts, is I allow my creativity to manifest. I can't think of another word, through Reiki and through life. And I get excited about the little things. Everything is kind of exciting, and it's contagious.
Yeah.
And people that are with me, well, they might laugh at me, but I get excited about just the little things the universe shows us, like swans and like everything. Like, life is a gift.
Yeah.
And it can be pretty damn exciting. And yes, it has, its challenges, but they're there for a reason.
Right.
And then it's our perception of it all.
Exactly.
To either learn from it or go down with it, I don't even know whether we answered the question, but
no, you answered it very well. No, and I totally understand. Like you were saying, it's sometimes the universe has to push you and make you uncomfortable, because otherwise you would stay in that comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's what it is. You're right. There's challenges, but I love your attitude of fun and creativity. And So you channel creativity, right? You kind of channel that flow
I guess I
of
do.
creation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful. I love it, and I see it. I see it in everything you do. Like from like when we did our practicum with Kimiko for Karuna, like we went to her home. First of all, it was beautifully decorated, and second of all, just little things like candles, and she had chakra mugs, and so when you were ready for tea, you could choose different chakra to drink with a message for you to have that tea and kind of infuse that liquid you were having. Little things like that. I call it the light beings, right? The
Yeah. Yeah.
crochet.
Light
Um,
beings. Yeah.
the crochet. Nancy has created alongside somebody else these crochet dolls with each chakra. She goes and chooses very carefully each button for each chakra. And I have a beautiful light being that I use to do long distance Reiki, and it's just things like that that just flow out of you, and I love it because it's so natural that it's such a gift to the world, right? Because not everybody is in that state of flow and allows themselves to tap into that love and that creativity. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm very grateful.
yeah,
I
it is,
really am.
yeah, yeah, for sure. All right.
I guess that's how I'm unique.
Well, it's wonderful, wonderfully unique. So the next question is, what projects are you currently working on right now?
Acceptance of where I am, and that's a big one. I'm not currently working on anything. I'm trying to accept that I'm here for meeting with my dad, who's 96 this year, and be grateful for that. Who has an opportunity to come home to spend time with their parent, cognitive parent, and have fun and feel safe, and that acceptance of where I am without my I don't want to say my ego, but my that little nattering and limiting belief of you should be doing something, you're not working. Acceptance of being and being okay with that. I do have some co-teaching I'm doing in the future, but I'm just trying to be here now.
Wonderful. Be in that creative mode, right? That flow, that feminine divine, like where you thrive, right? So that's the place that you're at, and you should totally embrace it. Just because society, and I'm having the same trouble with that sense too, is that to flow and have that balance between your masculine, the go, 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 do, and your feminine of the flow, create, allow, and it's challenging for somebody who I love to be in my flow, right? But my flow doesn't always pay the bills, right? I get that. I totally get that. Yeah. So the next question would be, what services do you provide right now and why? And I would love to hear about if you're doing any Reiki online or long distance Reiki. And I would love to hear maybe any details about any classes that you're co-teaching.
I do distant Reiki. So it's only online for various reasons. One being I live with my dad. So I don't see people in person right now. I'm co-teaching with Kimiko next month. I've co-taught with Alex, and I'm sure there'll be opportunity to do that. So here's another thing. The universe provided me with them to co-teach because I couldn't teach here. So it was like a little gift. They just kind of went, okay, here it is. You gotta do something about it, but here's the idea. And isn't that great that I get to co-teach?
Yeah, for sure.
When I don't really have the opportunity to teach, it's perception again,
Yeah, and I think you're teacher by nature. You're so good at it, and you're so gentle and loving, and you seem to. And I like the flow because I've attended some of your co-teaching classes. As your practitioner class with Kimiko, you co-taught, and I loved it, just the way it flowed, and it was just easy and comforting and things like that. I wanted to kind of mention the class you're teaching with Kimiko in May. What level is that?
It's level 1.
Okay, Reiki level 1.
Yeah.
And you can find that post if you go to the GTA Reiki. Is it gtareiki.ca? No, I think.
gta-reiki.thinkific.com.
That's it. And you go to find a class, and then you'll see it on the calendar.
Yeah, or my
and then you
website.
Or
my website. Or my Facebook page.
Yes. Okay, so let's get to that, because it's like, where can my audience, can your audience find you? How can they contact you if they want to try your long distance Reiki or join one of your classes?
Well, they can Google me, or my website is Relax, Receive, Rejuvenate with Reiki.com. My Facebook page is at Relax, Receive, Rejuvenate, and Instagram, I'm kind of a funny story, but right now it's Meikle-Mousseau 3. There's many Meikle-Mousseaus, so I'm number 3. So I want to change that, but I'm not really active on there yet, or still.
Okay.
I will be in the future, but it's mostly Reiki infused posts that I do there. I do a lot of things on Facebook.
Yeah, you're quite active on Facebook for sure. Yeah, you put some beautiful posts every day. There's something new from Nancy, so it's wonderful.
Yeah,
lots of inspirational things too that she posts. So Facebook, your website, also through GTA. You can send her an email at any time.
Well, I also have a Facebook group called Create a Wonderful Day. Yeah. That's kind of my tagline. I was actually even going to put it on my plaque in the cemetery. My daughter goes, "No, don't do that."
Don't
create Anyway, that's kind of like my tagline. I created a group, and it's just about how to create a wonderful day. Some people don't even know. So, yeah, it's just a fun group.
So is that where you would put any, if you were having any kind of group Zoom meetings or any Reiki shares, would that be the group that you post that in?
Oh, no, that would be on my Reiki page at Relax, Receive, Rejuvenate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I got
because I think
about one, just not Instagram too much.
Yeah, no. And it's fine, don't worry. So we all have different mediums. We all reach different audience, right? We are where we need it. So, yeah, wonderful. So before we close off, do you have any questions, anything you want to add, anything you want your audience, my audience, to know?
I really don't, other than a huge thank you to you, because you allowed to be led. And we've talked about this. This is kind of how you've developed this soul journey. Yeah. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Celebrate it and be proud, because you could just keep going with this and going with this. And everyone's story is different, and everybody has a story.
And I love it. And I think that's what part of the I love to be curious about people's journey, right? Because we all have such different points of view. And as people speak about their life or their journey, like, I can kind of envision it. I can participate in it, right? And heal with them or touch things within me that I wasn't aware of, right? So that's why I love sharing something there. Yes. So
Nicole. Nicole. Yeah, the tree whisperer. Yes, I really like yours.
Yeah.
Yes, you're welcome, Nicole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, Nancy. You're such a light. That's what she said.
Well, there you go. Thank you for recognizing that, Nicole. Yeah. But thank you for doing this. I really mean that, Maria. This is wonderful for you, and this is how you're shining your light.
I know, but it's been wonderful. Like, I just, so far I've had some really amazing people, and I have more coming as well. And like I said, we're all come from different areas and different pathways, but we all kind of led to be together. And I one of the things I like to share is that there's a healer for everybody. There's a healer for every season of your life as well, right? Someone might resonate one day, and then the person might resonate the next, right? So I just love that I have a platform that I can share that with everyone, right? And just send that love all out there for everyone. So thank you, Nancy. This has been awesome.
I wish I could hug you.
I know.
I'm giving you a hug.
Always a pleasure. And I look forward. I have ideas on how you and I can collaborate as well.
Yes,
something.
And co-create is my word.
I would love to. I think there's lots of things I can learn from you as well. So that I'm looking forward to. No, for sure, right? Yeah. That I think I've seen that. I was like, I got to talk to Nancy about that. I really like that. How can I implement that, right? Kind of thing. So, and sometimes I feel that sometimes not copying, but kind of translating what somebody else is doing is a sense of flattery, right? Like when I see people kind of emanating something or imitating something that I'm doing, or even just repeating the words that I taught them, I was like, oh, they got it. They know what they're doing. I love it. I love it. They're leading somebody else through it, right?
That means you've touched them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it's all about, right?
All right. Well, have a good night. This has been wonderful. I will save it and share it, and I'll tag you on it so then you can.
Thank you, because my technology skills are.
But I think you're better than you think you are. I think so. Maybe rewrite that sentence. It's like I am learning. I'm learning.
No, I am.
Yeah.
Proficient in technology.
There you go.
Yeah.
I am present.
You have a wonderful Easter.
Yeah. You too. So I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Thank you for showing up on Easter Friday or Good Friday.
Yeah.
And send you all.
Which is really interesting that we're doing it on this day, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Good Friday. I have to read you something because
wonderful.
Ken just took me right to this book in my bookshelf today, like late this afternoon, and my hand just went right to it, and then I opened it up, and it was like from the library of Kenneth and Nancy, because this was a book of ours. Yeah. So I knew it had everything to do with him, and it's Edgar Cayce. Which we were huge fans of. We actually had for 5 years an Edgar Cayce group.
Oh,
him and I at the very beginning, from 1993 to 1998. So Edgar Cayce was a clairvoyant, right?
Yeah, one of the pioneers, right?
Yeah. And we went to see him for a week in West Virginia. That was one of our first things we ever did in 1993. But for Easter, I have to tell you this, Good Friday, like we're here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I might have to take my glasses off.
That's
okay. This is Edgar Cayce. Easter is about refocusing and recommitting ourselves to what we believe. We would all do well this Easter season to find time for that kind of rededication. So I think that was directly from Kenneth, my husband. So thank you, Kenneth.
Yeah.
He wanted me to read that for some reason. So
wonderful. And thank you for being here. Thank you for all our guides and spirit guides being here, all our angels and our team for helping this be just wonderful transition of energy and love. So Nancy,
always a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. I can't wait to co-create with you some more in the future. So goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful Friday and long weekend.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Nancy.